Hello everyone, welcome to Module 3.1.2 Project Management. For this module, we will be discussing the key concepts of PM along with the steps to successfully start, execute, and close a project. So what is a project? As per Google, project is an individual or collaborative enterprise that is carefully planned and designed to achieve a particular aim. In the case of management information systems, this particular aim is an IT solution for your client. In their senior year, MIS undergrads will have a capstone project where they are going to find a client and implement an IT solution for them. The IT solution is their project. It is carefully planned and designed for it to be successful. Don't get me wrong. Some groups will have project failures. In my batch, there were like two groups whose projects have failed in their capstone. So why do projects fail in the first place? Usually, it has more to do with the way projects are managed, monitored, communicated, and supported by senior executives. Some of my batchmates' projects were poorly managed, where the PM was not able to lead the group correctly. Like instead of delegating tasks, the project manager actually went abroad to attend a conference, leaving the others in the dark. Some were out of the project manager's control, such as changes in the structure of the organization, miscommunication, etc. And here are some of the reasons why projects, not only in an educational setting but also in a professional setting, fail. Escalation of commitment, lack of support, lack of stakeholder involvement, unclear requirements, poor communication among team members and clients, and scope creep. Scope creep is when you keep on increasing requirements of your project up until it's already too huge and you cannot live up to your promises anymore. This is why setting limitations to your project is very, very important. You must set limitations as to what you are supposed to do. Next to understand is the triple constraint of projects: money, time, and scope. If one of these change, the others will be affected as well. For example, if you want something quick and cheap, then the scope won't be as good. If you want something great and can be achieved quickly, then it won't be cheap. And if you want something cheap and great, then it would not come quickly. In practice, one of the constraints is fixed for a particular project, so you already have a fixed constraint, so the other two forces must be adjusted if change is needed. For example, you set a fixed price on your project, you have only this budget, so you adjust the scope and the timeline for you to achieve the project. And so, what is project management? It is a systematic approach to project planning, organizing, and managing resources, resulting in a project that successfully meets its objectives. Systematic approach, sorry, meaning that there are steps to achieve a successful project. You need to plan, organize, and manage your resources correctly to be able to give your clients what they ask for. Giving them what they ask for is quite tricky at times. That is why you need to be specific on what they want so you can give it to them. Here are some characteristics for a good project manager. So, strong leadership skills, excellent communication skills, and outstanding people skills. You need these because you will be leading people and communicating with them. You must have technical competence in a project area, so some knowledge on technology will go a long way. Good listening skills, strong team building skills. Again, you are leading a team, so you want them to work great together. And next, you need excellent presentation skills. The project manager is the frontliner in presenting decks to the clients and the stakeholders. You need to have good problem solving and critical thinking skills because project managers will be faced with problems and must be quick on their toes. And the ability to balance priorities, stay organized, and keep the team on track. It is important to keep the project on schedule because no one wants to delay a project. No one wants a delayed project. A delayed project leads to more work and more cost, so it is on the project manager to keep balanced priorities and stay organized. An example on this is when I had my project group during my senior year, during our capstone project. Our group of five was considered of three procrastinators, and I was one of them. Every meeting, we would tune out and play on our laptop, shop on Lazada, whatever we can do to, take our minds off whatever was happening because we were getting bored. We were never really attentive on the deadlines because we were kind of lazy bunch. Don't get me wrong. We were great in our own aspects. One of us was arguably the best developer, the best coder in our batch. The other was a good, actually great front end designer, and I was great at designing databases. The only problem was that we were lazy and we always procrastinated. So our project manager stepped up. She kept us on track of our schedules, constantly updated us. If we felt lazy, she motivated us. She stayed up all night with us when we were doing our tasks so that she could also help us if needed. We went out for quote unquote team building, and so even with three lazy people on the team, we were awarded with the best project for our batch. So we had an award. We were recognized as best project management project, right? Um, that was all thanks to the project manager who was able to bring out the best in us. Next, let's move on to the PM process. It is divided into 5 steps. You have initiating, planning, executing, monitoring, and closing. Starting with initiating, the initiating process the processes lay the groundwork for the project by clarifying the value it will bring to the organization, setting its objectives, and estimating the project's length, scope, and cost. This is when you have your kickoff meeting with your clients. You're gonna have a kickoff meeting. The project manager presents the project to the client and clarifying the value of it. The PM is also the one who presents the objectives of the project, when it will start and when it will end, and the budget for the overall project. Next is planning. Planning is where the project manager's organizing ability shines. Here, the PM plans the schedule of things to be done and delegates the tasks accordingly. The PM sits down with the project team and tells each member what they have to do by what date. In order to achieve this, the PM is in charge of presenting the scope document, or the document that describes and limits the scope of the project, assigning deliverables, and creating a work breakdown structure, or WBS, and a Gantt chart. Deliverables are the products, documents, or services that will be delivered to the client during the course of a project. Here is an example. The deliverables are on the left: the user stories, functional requirements, DFD, ERD, and other diagrams. These are deliverables and documentations to be given to our client. In the middle, you can see who should be doing the deliverables. So you have names there: George, Royce, Jacob, Juanea, Rainer, and all of those should be done in the interface design meeting. Um, and on the left is what date it should be submitted, right? So the deliverables, delegation, and scheduling are all done by the project manager. Next is the work breakdown structure. The WBS is a list of all the activities to be done in the duration of the project. You can see here the descriptions of the tasks that should be done. And when you have your list of tasks, then you can create a Gantt chart. So following the WBS is your Gantt chart. A Gantt chart is basically a glorified planner. It helps visualize the schedules the tasks should be completed on. For example, in activity or task ID 1.1, it should be done by October 18. And it is neatly visualized in the Gantt chart by highlighting the date that when it's supposed to be accomplished. Next is executing. Once the PM has planned out the project, it is time to execute. Here, it is the team's time to shine, like the project team, the developers, the systems analysts. This is when they actually work. The devs, the systems analysts, and other teammates do their delegated tasks. The PM, however, still leads the team through coordinating the project. He makes sure that things are in order and are on schedule. This is done by communicating with stakeholders, allocating work assignments. If the PM sees one of the members is having difficulty, maybe difficulty in the schedule, right? They're falling behind, then she can get others to help them. Negotiating contracts, coaching team members, holding meetings. The meetings may it be periodic, important, or kamustahan lang, like just making sure everybody is all right. writing updates, doing presentations for the board, and conducting research. Again, the PM makes sure that everything is going according to the plan that he made, which is the work breakdown structure and the Gantt chart. He's making sure that everything is being followed. Next is monitoring. The PM tracks progress using reports and or dashboards. Here, the PM continues to monitor if everything is on schedule and on budget. And last is closing. Remember in SAD, in Systems Analysis and Design, we studied about the SDLC. Once the SDLC has been finished and the system is with the client, like you've already done your training and maintenance and etc., it is time to close and turn over the project to the client. The project ends in an orderly way by the client signing off all deliverables that have been received and accepted. And the project manager also holds a final meeting with the team to celebrate or mourn the success or failure of their project. They recall everything that has happened during the project, what went good, what went bad. Especially you would want to take note when a project fails, you want to know what went wrong so that you could improve on it in the future. And with that ends our lesson on project management and module 3.1, and see you on the next video.